Good afternoon. This video I want to deal with Bryan Denlinger's latest video on Hebrews 1:8 again, and to show up how absurd he is. Remember, they tell you that Jesus Christ is the Father, and now in this video he's going to tell you, well, the Father's worshiping the Son. I thought the Son was the Father. And then he's going to tell you, well, the verses are about Jesus Christ. Well, about Jesus Christ in comparison to the angels. It's telling you that Jesus Christ is the preeminent one in the universe, and he's greater than the angels. And then he's going to say, then he begins speaking directly to Jesus Christ and calls him God. Thy throne, O God, is forever and ever. Now, according to these lunatics who are out there modalists, God the Father is speaking to himself. But he's speaking to another person and calling him God. He's calling God Jesus Christ God. He's not speaking about Jesus Christ, he's speaking to Jesus Christ. And tells him, thy throne. But unto the Son he saith, thy throne, O God, is forever and ever. He is the Father calling the Son God. That's where you get the idea of God the Son. That's their big argument. Where does God the Son show up? Hebrews 1:8. The Father calling the Son God. And if we're true what Bryan Denlinger say about worship, all you'd have is the Father worshiping himself. Go back up here. That's 8 seconds.
Verse 8. Again, in context, chapter 1 is talking the Father speaking about the Son. God the Father speaking about Jesus Christ, in other words. Verse 8. But unto the Son he saith.
Unto the Son he saith. That's not speaking about the Son, it's speaking to the Son.
Thy throne, O God, is for...
Thy throne, O God. He's calling the Son God. Now, anybody reading English could tell you that, people. Anybody who could read 5th grade English could tell you that the Father is talking to the Son, and he calls him God.
Forever and ever, a scepter of righteousness is the scepter of thy kingdom. And it goes down through thou hast loved.
He's speaking to someone else. He's not speaking to himself. The Father isn't speaking to himself, he's speaking to another person. He's speaking to another person.
Of righteousness and hated iniquity, therefore God, even thy God, hath anointed thee with the oil of gladness.
Therefore thy God. Who's he talking about? Thy God? The Father. So you got the Father calling the Son God, and then saying, thy God, who's he from? The Father is speaking about himself. Even thy God. The man can't even read what's in front of him. He's so wicked.
Above thy fellows goes down through.
Yeah, it goes down through. The Father says to the Son, thy God, which is talking about himself. And he calls the Son, thy throne. Unto the Son he saith, thy throne, O God. He's not talking about. He's not talking about himself there, people. He's calling the Son God. I can count 2 there, people. How many you count? How many persons do you count there, O God? And if about worshiping, if the Father were worshiping the Son, wouldn't the Father be worshiping himself? Because the Son is supposed to be the Father. Isn't that how it works with these modalists? Isn't the Father supposed to be the Son? But Hebrews 1:8, the Father's calling the Son God. And then he says, thy God. Saying, me. He's talking God, Father's speaking of himself there. Thy God. This is the insanity you get to people. They can't read simple English because their minds are blinded, and he's going to come up and tell you God showed him this. A fifth grader would say, you could say, well, how many people you see, how many persons you see there? Oh, I see the Father and the Son. That's two. No, it's one. It can't be two. Well, if the Father is worshiping the Son, isn't he worshiping himself then? I see thy throne until the Son he saith. Not to himself, but unto the Son he saith. Thy throne, O God. Wait a minute, the Father's calling the Son God. And then the Father says to the Son, thy God, speaking by himself. Oh, where's God's Son show up in the Bible? Let me stop and put this up. Just show you these guys. They're Looney Tunes. But you want to believe a lie. He's got Isaiah 44 up there, besides me, no God. There is no God beside God. But there are three persons who are God. But you lunatics get up there and ignore what a verses say. And it just go out what a verses say. If that were true, if the Father were worshiping the Son, he'd be worshiping, according to you guys, he's worshiping himself. Because the Son is the Father. The Son is the Father, according to you. So he worships himself. So who is this Father speaking to? And he says, unto the Son, he calls him God. He calls him God, thy throne. Until the Son, he saith, thy throne, O God, is forever and ever. Why? He humbled himself. Philippians 2. Until the point of death. So as Hebrews telling that Jesus Christ is the preeminent one of creation, he's telling the Hebrews. Not tribulational people. He's talking of the early church, who were made up mostly Jews, where Jesus Christ is better than anything they've got. Which for Jews, like amazing, because they had so many good things. Better than angels, better than the Lord, better than Moses. But just want to show you how stupidity, this utter stupidity of this guy. And none of you people who watch him, and I'll get that thumbs down. You're obsessed. What do you bother Bryan? The guy's nuts. To be a modalist, you got to be a nut. Because they got to get around the idea that God speaks to each other. The persons in the Trinity speak to one another. They have to ignore that. So here's one member of the Trinity speaking to another member of the Trinity, telling him, and to the Son, he says, unto the Son, he saith. He's not speaking about the Son, he's speaking to the Son. And he saith, thy throne, O God, is forever and ever. And then he says, thy God, speaking about himself. So we stop with this up. Amen. Thank you.